Godzilla vs. Kong is currently scheduled to hit theaters on May 21st, 2021. And yeah, it got delayed due to the ongoing pandemic. Hopefully there won't be any more delays. Now, apart from Godzilla and Kong, numerous other titans are expected to make an appearance in the Alpha Showdown, with quite a few new titans rumored to join the monsterverse as well. So, which titans will we be seeing, and which ones are most likely to make a return from last year's Godzilla King of the Monsters film? Well, you're gonna find out exactly that in our video today. So, hello folks, welcome back to Factholic, and let's find out all the titans that could return in Godzilla vs. Kong, including the rumored new ones that have been making quite a buzz in recent times. Starting with the returning ones, the first titan is the benevolent Mothra. Now, we know that Mothra quite clearly died fighting Ghidorah and Rodan in King of the Monsters, and also ended up giving the last of her life force to Godzilla so that he could defeat the alien titan and end his tyranny. But hear us out. After all, death is only temporary for the ancient guardian monster, and Mothra never really dies. She's pretty much immortal, since when Mothra dies, her memories are transferred to her offspring, thus giving her a form of pseudo-immortality. The King of the Monsters credits did tease that Mothra left an egg behind before dying. Also, we do know that the last egg lay dormant for 10,000 years, but if Godzilla is in need of help, Mothra may have to return earlier than usual. Coming to the second returning titan, it's none other than the three-headed dragon and Big G's nemesis, King Ghidorah. The false king was annihilated after Godzilla used his nuclear pulse to instantly destroy Ghidorah's healing factor and take him down for good. However, a post-credits scene revealed that his severed head from the second battle was still intact and survived. So there are now two possibilities for his return to the scene. He either regenerates an entire new body for himself from scratch, or it could be used to create a new body for Ghidorah, and a mechanical one at that. If so, then the Monsterverse could very well introduce its own version of Mecha King Ghidorah, who could be an ally to Mechagodzilla in a fight against Godzilla and Kong, which will make Godzilla vs. Kong even more epic. Up next, the third returning titan is the winged fury himself, Rodan. Rodan is of the three Toho Kaiju to join the Monsterverse in King of the Monsters. The fire demon fed on the energy of the Earth's thermal core, and his giant wings can take down entire squadrons with ease. Also, Rodan is clearly the easiest to bring back, simply because he didn't die in the final battle. He just found another volcanic nest to rest in, so he could still answer the Alpha's call if Godzilla summons him for a trip to Skull Island, or a battle with Mechagodzilla. Through Rodan, Godzilla vs. Kong can feature Toho's most iconic giant monster team-up. Godzilla and Rodan have a history of working together to save the world that goes all the way back to the 1960s. So things are looking pretty good so far. Now, the fourth titan we might see again next year is probably the most ancient among all. Yes, we're talking about Methuselah. Methuselah will probably have a part to play in Godzilla vs. Kong. A four-legged, rock-like titan with horns on his head, Methuselah serves as an example of a titan becoming one with the natural world, and he is ancient, even more so than the other titans. Moving on to the fifth titan expected to make a return is another Monsterverse titan, Behemoth. Behemoth is one of the oldest beings in the Monsterverse. If the Godzilla novelization is true, then Behemoth's age is more than 12,000 years. This sloth-like creature with the tusks of a woolly mammoth doesn't look like he was built for fighting, but he could still be around and serve the new Alpha in Godzilla vs. Kong. Next up, the sixth titan is actually a six-legged titan. Yes, we're talking about Cilla. Cilla is an armored, six-legged titan with a face that looks like a squid. She was seen dwelling right below a massive oil rig in the heart of Arizona. Cilla lived most of her life within the massive underwater lakes below the surface. Moving on to the seventh titan, which is actually the third Muto, Muto 3. This third Muto is female and has several differences from the previous two Mutos. For starters, it's female and has a size that easily dwarfs the other two monsters. For some reason, Godzilla has not attacked and neutralized this monster. Maybe the Big G is saving the best for last. So all these titans were the ones that made an appearance in the previous films. However, there were 11 other titans that were wreaking havoc off-screen in Godzilla King of the Monsters. In the film, only their names and locations were revealed on a monitor at Monarch's base, so very little is known about them. Now, they may not have actually made any on-screen appearance in King of the Monsters, but there are high chances of us seeing them in Godzilla vs. Kong. And they are Abaddon, Bunyip, Mokele Mbembe, Sekhmet, Leviathan, Quetzalcoatl, Baphomet, Typhon, Amaluk, Tiamat, and Yamata no Oricho. Apart from these, there's one other Titan that's seen as a dead skeleton in the underwater scene in Godzilla King of the Monsters, which is none other than Anguirus. The rights to the monster Anguirus have not been handed over to Legendary. That was the status quo during the release of Godzilla 2 King of the Monsters. But Anguirus is one of Godzilla's oldest allies in the original monster movies, so we'll be hoping Legendary will finally manage to pull off bringing this iconic kaiju to the Monsterverse. Now, those were the Titans that may be returning in Godzilla vs. Kong. But what about the new Titans then? Well, let's take a look, shall we? So the first Titan is the one that's been making all the headlines ever since the start of the year. Yes, we're talking about Mechagodzilla. In January 2020, leaked images of Godzilla vs. Kong toys seemingly spoiled the inclusion of Mechagodzilla, Godzilla's robotic counterpart from Toho's movies. Based on the appearance of the action figure, Monsterverse has redesigned Mechagodzilla with much longer arms, slightly longer legs, red spikes down his spine, and clawed hands. Interestingly, his new look could make him more suitable for close combat. Regardless, Godzilla King of the Monsters credits already set him up by mentioning that a mechanized giant was being constructed at Monarch's base at Skull Island. Monarch could have created him as a contingency plan that they could use in case Godzilla or the other Titans got out of hand. But maybe it might end up in the other way around, rather. Next up is Nuzuki. So a second Godzilla vs. Kong toy leak revealed Nuzuki, a mysterious serpent-like creature with orange and yellow bat-like wings. This original Monsterverse Titan was quite an interesting appearance, which seemingly draws parallels to Quetzalcoatl. Now, how the Titan Quetzalcoatl looks hasn't been discussed as of yet, but Aztec gods are typically depicted as winged serpents, so it could possibly be that Nuzuki and Quetzalcoatl are one and the same. Now, if this happens to be true, then it would mean that Nuzuki was one of the Titans woken up by Ghidorah's call, and that he's now one of Godzilla's new minions. However, there's another possibility which may mean that Nuzuki is still in hibernation and a completely different Titan. Also, if he lives deep within the hollow earth, Ghidorah's call may not have reached him. So there's that as well. Moving on, another new Titan that recently made headlines is Warbat. So new images of Godzilla vs. Kong action figures include Warbat, a Titan which looks very similar in appearance to Nuzuki. However, the biggest differences between the two are their names and the colors of their wings and bodies. And that's basically it. Warbat's wings are red, while Nuzuki's are orange and yellow. So it's not a surprise that some have concluded that Nuzuki is in fact Warbat. I mean, it's basically the same Titan after all. Perhaps Legendary simply changed his name during the marketing process. However, a second possibility exists. Similar to the situation with the Mutos in 2014's Godzilla, there could be two Titans of the same species in Godzilla vs. Kong. We'll just have to wait until next year to find out. And finally, the last but not least, we have Kamazotz. A bat-like Titan named Kamazotz will appear in Godzilla vs. Kong prequel novel. Based on the Mayan god who shares the same name, Kamazotz has been referred to as the embodiment of nightmares. This description certainly suggests that he'll be a formidable villain. Though he may only be present in the prequel novel, there have been rumors that Kamazotz will get the live-action treatment as well. If Kamazotz is in Godzilla vs. Kong, there's a good chance that he'd be a foe of either Godzilla, Kong, or both, rather than an ally. So that was all for this video. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Now, if you want to keep watching more videos like these, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, keep watching Factaholic.